What's good, everybody? Hope y'all straight, y'all having a good day. And yeah, I wanted to talk about, everything, the reason about, why Trump um, created, decided to attack Iran and all of that. Why this is still, like I told y'all before, like this is still, like script fake. So, Epstein Files. I don't know if y'all remember when when they was consistently dropping the Epstein files, all the time. Um, so Trump name it came on this on the files, you know. Trump's name it came on files, clips, receipts basically about what he was doing, you know, um, with the elite. So even Epstein is leaked on his email. Even Epstein said on his email that Trump would start a war just to, if he get caught, he will just start a war just to, make people like forget about it, about, himself on the files, and it's basically a distraction. All of this is a distraction. So, and is more that that real that he basically started all this intensive war with Iran just because of the files. There's a lot of people on those files, known people that you never um, really thought about it, that they would be on the file, and they are actually on the file. Trump, people think, oh, Trump is, he's a good guy. He does, he does this and that. He care about us, all of that. But in truly, really and truly, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about nobody. Because he's part of the elite, part of the Satanic occult. So he's just an actor, like all these, all these folks. All these folks are, they're just actors, and that's what they're doing. That's what, all of this is just, it's just a show. They're just actors. So he started the war basically because his name came on the files, and people saw it and will start questioning, why is he the jury, the judge on underage girls like contest, and they wear bikinis and things of that nature, and the way how he, you know, looking at it, and also, interacting with them, that's very sus, all these, these people, that's what they prefer, the underage, because of the adrenochrome, the blood, and like that. So people that think, oh, Trump, this and that, he's just an actor. He's satanic. First thing first. Y'all should know about this. Everybody in the elite is satanic. I can tell you all the countries. They all together. On the files even prove it. You saw from the Emirates. Whoever thought that, is the prince of the Emirates. He's on it as well. Saudi, they on it as well. Egypt, leaders of Egypt, Portugal, Spain, England, UK, Scotland, whatever, Wales, France, all the countries, they are together. All these leaders, they are together, So this is what I'm saying. It's just the elite, the new world order, These folks, they don't care about nobody, And I know it's hard to believe, But that's how it is. They don't care about you, and they don't care about if you lose your life, because they have an agenda to follow. And that's what they doing it, the evil, you know. They pray for Satan, they do sacrifices, they eat children's, they drink blood, you know, rituals. They have a lot of warlocks, witches, in order, to give them power. They, summoning demons, low entities, giving energy, rituals, like sacrifices, giving that energy of those sacrificing people to, to Satan or to whatever, Baal, Moloch, whatever the name of that entity that, that they, they pray, you know. And that's what they do. And Trump, man, he's one of them, you know. He raped children, he eat babies, he drink their blood, he did rituals, and his wife, his wife is the first lady or whatever, but what was she before becoming that? People know what she was. She was doing services. She was one of them, one of those. So he had relation with his daughter. For I don't know for how long he's been, raping his daughter. You can check videos about when he's around his daughter, and the comments that he says about his daughter. He even said he wanted to marry her, but she's his daughter, type of shit, and you know so he does all of that, and y'all think that he's just, oh, Trump this, Trump that. Oh, he's a good guy. He cares about the country. He's doing what is right. He's America first. No, this is an agenda. There's no America first, folks. There's not it. And I told y'all, countries that are original evils is United States, is America, and is United Kingdom, England. The original evils. Why do you think, like, for people that, they may be not familiar with with America, but different cities, you have different statues, in the hall, no, in the halls, like the main important statues, like inside of that city. I think in Seattle you have evil, like I think it's Beelzebub or whatever, Lucifer. The statue of liberty, that's evil. All of that, it's evil. So you just need to wake up, open your eyes, and be like, right, this is how it is, the world. This is how it is, these entities. They've been doing us wrong for so long, and they are our enemies. And this is the Matrix. That's how it is. Jeffrey even said, he himself even said, he never met a person so evil like Donald Trump. And Epstein, he's evil as well. All these people are evil. Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, Bush, who else? Obama. Who else? The royal family of England. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, all of this, the Zionist Jews, they in it, like, deep, and you have the puppets, like the Illuminati, that is celebrities that they do the same shit. And you saw cases of Diddy, of Jay-Z, a lot of people, You know, like a lot of celebrities, they own that. Like everybody who is rich, famous, they own that, you know, group, Illuminati, you know. And you have the Freemasons, that you have police officers, that you have judges, that you have politicians, that you have leaders, you have, you know, teachers, things like that, you know. It's they all together. This is a big organization, a big cult, you know, about, you know, about all of this evil. So people was talking about, let me talking about this as well. People was talking about the blood moon that is Perim, I think it's Perim for the Jews celebration, you know. And the moon will be red, and it will be, and it's on the 3rd of March, 3/3, you know, at the time of 3:33, you know. And people was talking about this, you know, that is a coincidence as well about Trump was born on the blood moon as well, and different people as well. Maybe it's a reincarnation. These folks, they reincarnate, you know. They reincarnate, you know. They're living, you know, they're living for a long time, and they jump in bodies to bodies. Epstein said they have a machine, they do reincarnation. They can do that, you know. They can do that. So it's all based in numerology, all what they do, you know, and why they so obsessed, you know, to Saturn, you know, Saturn, the energies, and, you know, the rituals based with the alignment of Saturn and things like that. Why they have black cubes, you know, in order to, you know, to follow Saturn and things like that. Man, it's all part of the cult, you know, evil, you know, why they connect and interact with these entities, you know, evil, you know, that's what they subscribe for. Aliens, extraterrestrial beings from different planets. They know them. They interact with them. They have a book. Describing all the species they encountered, you know. And what's the word? I think it was the first president of United States of America. He was the one who established contact with an extraterrestrial being for the first time. It was him, you know. And they made, you know, what's the word? They made it a deal, you know. And, you know, CIA, all of that is involved. NASA, it's all fake, is involved, you know. The way, you know, how they show us the planet outside, how they show us the universe, it's all fake. You know, they just basically playing with us because we don't have no knowledge. They set up the matrix so good on a way that you are trapped. And no matter how you're trying to get out of that trap, you're trying to figure out the truth, you're still going to be trapped. Because what you're going to go for, you're going to think like is the truth, but really and truly is still cultism, you know. It's still evil, paganism, you know, and corruption, you know. That's why people need to be very careful to what they, you know, what do they really follow and what they really subscribe, you know. Because this is the matrix, you know. It's like you stuck on a cage, you know. No matter what, you cannot break that cage because they have a lot of, you know, traps. There's a lot of traps in it, you know. And yeah, so end of times, I believe is gonna, you know, I believe we really like on the end of times. I believe, though, even if this war, you know, is fake, you know, it's just because of the files, because of Trump. He started this because of the files. You see, the building where the Iran, they do, you know, when they do the meetings and all of that, like the politicians and the politics and all of that. It's like it's a building looked like a pyramid and has like 33 windows or things like that. You see, it's all symbolic. It's all symbolic. They all together, it's all symbolic. That's what I'm saying. The war is fake. It's staged. It was meant to be. They already made these plans since the 50s. You know, it's fake. So, what should I add more on this? Right. Oh, I believe it's the end of times. This is too much coincidence. Now is Ramadan, is Lent, and also it started now the the Israeli, the Jews celebration. What's the name? Is Purim, something like that. All on the same time, and this war is starting, and this war started. I told you all about the times of Gog and Magog. It's now is with this war. Gog and Magog is starting. It is this war, that we're gonna see. People from those lands, where Magog was, that how I'm gonna say, descendants used to be, like Russia, Turkey, Gog, Turkey, they're gonna attack Israel. You see how Israel now is getting bombed, going crazy, and being crazy, people running, and man, it was meant to be. So will actually be the final war, and Jesus will come back, as the Messiah. I believe, and y'all need to pay more attention to the Bible, because the Bible, people don't believe how, the stories, everything is true. It makes sense. Even those satanics, they would not disagree. They would say it's true. How the demons look, how the angels look, how these entities look, like it's true, and yeah, if there, I believe, like it will have salvation in this earth for sure. The evil needs to get, it needs to get destroyed. But I think the agenda that they're trying to put is like on the movies. Is get rid of the humans. They want to get rid of the humans, and that's it. And input the cyborgs, like we see on the movies, the robots, cyborgs, the technology, AI, and yeah, like I said, I keep saying on my videos, I had my YouTube account deleted. I had numbers. I was going crazy. I was actually putting work on this. It was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. I was doing presentations, PowerPoints with slides, breaking facts about the reptilians, breaking facts about the Masonic cult, breaking fact about the royal family, breaking fact about, the different extraterrestrial beings, the Dracos, from different planets, the Draconians, they come from the planet Draco, that is on a different solar system, is on a different universe, and things like that. I was breaking down all of that, the elite, the Illuminati, the celebrities. I was breaking down all of that, who they pray, what they do, what's the meaning, I was breaking down, and guess what? They deleted my account, and I was doing this for 5, 6, 7 years ago. 5, 6, 7 years ago. I stopped because I was like, what's the point? I'm being controlled. The government is on me. I cannot do nothing. They can arrest me. So I stopped. But now, I'm just dropping videos low key. And even the videos that I'm doing, I don't think it's not bad at all, because I'm not putting receipts. If I do presentations, I think they probably will shut me down again, or you know, or they probably will come looking for me in my house, you know, type shit, man. That's how it is, you know. These folks, you know, they watching, they know everything, you know, they observing, you know, they know everything. But yeah, like I said about this war, man, you know, it's gonna escalate. It will escalate to Europe, you know. Don't think it won't escalate to Europe, because I believe it will escalate to Europe. Even if it doesn't escalate on a higher level, it will escalate a little bit, you know, to make people scared into fear, so they can manipulate and control people again with laws. That's what they do. That's how the government can control the population, can control the mankind, through fear, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, you know, about this video. Just want to do a short, you know, just to let y'all know, you know, about why Trump is doing this, you know, and the reason why he's doing this and who he is, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Peace, y'all. Love.